I'd like to welcome to the stage the beating heart of this thriving restaurant, the best catfish nuggets. I know that's not here tonight, but if you go there, that's my favorite thing. I can't even eat catfish anywhere else because I'm supposed to be allergic to it, but I can eat it at Rib Shack. Don't know what it is, but the best catfish nuggets. We would like to welcome up to the stage the beating heart, the thriving of this restaurant, Malcom Robbins, to tell his story. Thank you. Should have told you to bring me some nuggets. No, you have that. Yep, you're on. Yep.
First thing I want to say is thank y'all for even inviting me about my situation. My heart, me not. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So I guess I'm going to talk about how good God's been to me. God been, I can't even think of the right words to describe what God has done for Malcom. I can't even imagine. Back in October 3rd of 2018, I had a brain bleed. Brain bleed caused me to go into a coma. I was in a coma for 30 days. When I woke up from that coma, I had to make a decision. The doctor in St. Louis, he was telling me, Malcom, you're not going to be able to get a heart because you got two things going on. You got a heart issue and you got a brain issue now. So he's telling me I'm not going to get a heart transplant. And at the same time, we got two stores in St. Louis, and we had one downtown, right by the Dome, and one out by the airport. We're making maybe $1.5 million, $2 million a year between both stores. And we're doing amazing, and all this happened to me at that time. And I didn't know what to do, so I got on Facebook. We're back in 2018, so I got on Facebook, and I got to scroll on Facebook. There's a lady from Omaha, she got on my Facebook page, and she said, Malcom, if you came to Omaha, you wouldn't have these issues. Her name is DeWine. DeWine, I don't know if you know DeWine or not, but her mom is dealing with cancer as well. But she told me, Malcom, if you came to Omaha, you would have type of issues. I'm like, okay. She's saying all this, but you don't really know my situation. My situation is a little bit different than most because the different thing I did in my life is not what some people would agree with. So I've done different things to provide for my family, and I'm just who I am. So I'm waking up from the brain bleed. I got to make a decision for my wife. My wife she's trying to do everything, but we had two stores. And we had a daughter that's 12 years old, and we got me in the hospital. She got 4 places to go to, all at the same time. So I'm telling her, close the stores down immediately from the hospital floor. I'm still having a brain bleed. I ain't recovered or nothing. I'm still in the hospital. I close the stores down, tell my son, go close the stores down, take everything out the stores, put it all in stores. And I told my wife to focus on my daughter. And I'm going to figure out how to get a heart transplant myself on my own. And some people say I was wrong for that. And because I kind of pushed my wife out of my life because it was just too much for me at that particular time. And I thought it was the best thing to do. But, different things occurred and then she kind of showed different. But that's the decision I made. I had to make a decision right then and there. Then as I got to that point, I had to figure out where I'm going to go. What are you going to do? So I got on this UNOS. It's the United Nations Organ Systems in Washington, D.C., the headquarters. I called them up. I asked them, where do you go to get a heart? The best place you can go get a heart transplant at. Mine was the one I told about Omaha, but you know, she don't know the full situation. That's my thinking. But I got to do my research. I asked the lady. She said, Malcom, I can't tell you the best place, but I can tell you the average waiting time in each location. I'm like, average waiting time? What does that mean? You know what I mean? But she went on, she asked me to pick 4 locations. I picked them out. I picked St. Louis, where I lived at. She said 38 more months where I was at right then. And asked about Mayo Clinic, one world famous place, Mayo Clinic. She said 39 more months there. Asked about a place out in Oklahoma City. It was Intrepid, 37 more months there. And then asked about a place where my dad grew up at, Omaha, Nebraska. And she said 6 months. Now I was happy to hear that too. I was extremely happy. Because what I did is, I took it a step further. I called Omaha. Because it's a woman in Washington, D.C. saying that. That don't mean it's really what's happening in Omaha. So I said, let me call Omaha. I had to go through a process to get the right person on the phone to ask the question, how do I get on your transplant list in Omaha? And she told me, but she wasn't aware I was writing everything she said down. Wrote it all down. I wrote it all down, and did exactly what she said. She told me I had to stay in St. Louis where I was at and get back on that transplant list. Now, when she talking to me, I just woke up from a brain bleed. At this time, I'm not able to even drink. I can't drink nothing. I'm losing weight by the day. I'm down to 125 pounds. I wasn't able to eat anything. My body was just giving up. They said my blood is called septic. They call me septic, and that's why this doctor tells me that, Malcom, you can, really the best thing for you to do is go lay down and let God have his will. And, for a doctor to say that, it kind of like bothered me. So, I definitely didn't do what he said to do. Like I said, I did my research, got the number, got the place, asked her, she told me I had to wait 2 years. But I didn't realize when she said, you gotta get back on St. Louis's transplant list first, I didn't realize it was gonna take that long to get back on. Because you gotta be strong enough to carry a heart, but in need of heart. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little thin line right there. But I showed people I did my best to get back. My left side of my body was numb. And I lost all the left side of the function. I didn't have, it's gone. It was, now it's coming back, but it's gone. I didn't have nothing on the left side at all. And I dealt with that part. I had to wait out the 2 years. I didn't realize it was going to be 2 years because I had a stroke. I had multiple things reoccurring. And I'm trying to stabilize myself through them all, but at the same time, it's a challenge. And I'm fighting this by myself because I've been kind of, I ain't gonna say I abused her, but I told her to really go and let me deal with this by myself because, they're telling me I'm about to die. Every doctor that walked in St. Louis Hospital, they all said, Malcom, you're about to die. Just lay down and let God have his will. And they constantly tell you this. If somebody constantly telling you this, you eventually gonna start believing it. But I didn't believe it. I kept figuring out I was gonna be able to do something, but I didn't know what. So, waited. Finally, they called me back and they said, Malcom, Dr. I'm gonna put you back on Dr. Ewald. in St. Louis. He said, he's gonna put you back on the transplant list. And what that meant to me was, he went back on that list, I mean, I can go there, I'm on now. I didn't even call him. He tried to schedule me an appointment. I said, oh, sir, I thank you, I appreciate that, but I'm gonna do something different, I came to Omaha. When I came to Omaha, I got here in Omaha, I went to the hospital, and the ladies in the hospital there, they were fully aware of my situation, I called everybody, made everybody aware. When I got there, they kicked me out the hospital. I'm really like, what? Y'all really trying to prevent me from getting heart? It's a process for me transferring my insurance from from Missouri to Nebraska on a holiday weekend. I came on July 1st of the holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend. So that holiday weekend had to when you transfer your insurance, it takes an extra few days. So since they didn't have no money, they put me in the hospital. No. My whole process had to start over. Once I get the insurance, I can call back and then get it. I'm in Omaha now. So I feel better, but the same process, I had to go through a little process to get a heart transplant. A lot of times people, I'm not really, I don't know how to say this, but we as black people, we wait the longest. I don't know, I'm not saying nothing bad about nobody, but I'm saying we as black people wait the longest. We wait. I've seen so many people die while I was waiting to get me a heart. I mean, I got stories and pictures of guys, we walk in the hallway, they're just literally dying. Different things they don't do with their medication and different things, all a lot of issues with your health. But I made it to the point, I'm in Omaha now. I did an RV, I'm parked on the parking lot down in the hospital. Circle Drive at UMC. Yeah. Circle Drive, you got that Circle Drive? I parked right there in the corner. Right on the lot. I'm there for 2 years. It wasn't intentional, it was supposed to be 6 months. But this thing they call pandemic and COVID, all this coming into town. When that comes, it changed everything. Then the first thing happened is Mr. Trump becomes president, he stops the government. Who ever heard of that? Stopping the government? I never heard that before. Yeah, stop the government. When he stopped the government, they changed my transplant from a transplant to elective surgery.
Wow.
Now, I got one doctor inside UMC hospital, and he tell me, Malcom, no matter what's going on out there, don't leave the parking lot. Don't leave the parking lot? Don't leave the parking lot. This was in January of 20. January, when they called me, told me, don't leave the parking lot. All this is going on. You got George Floyd got killed. You got somebody in Omaha got killed. Sturlock got killed downtown. And all these different things going on. College kids marching down Dodge. I'm sitting there in the trailer on the UMC parking lot by myself, waiting patiently on the park. It was a trying time. I did my little walks. I did everything to keep myself strong enough to be able to carry a heart whenever it comes. I did that part and this stuff too. I stayed through the final day that it comes, the heart comes. The final call. This is July 11th of 2020. I get me and my wife on the phone. And she had just came to visit me for the 4th of July. And she came and she said hi and visited me. And I had to go through that process then. When she left, it was a little different feeling, but I'm sitting there. She called to check on me. I'm telling her, say, baby, today I come out the trailer, I'm going on a little walk, I look across the street, it's a little small street right there on UMC parking lot. You can see right to the doctor there, I'm saying, hey, Dr. Dunn, hey, Malcom. I've been out here for 2 years. You would think he would be able to say, hi, something. That man went right back in the hospital. He didn't say nothing to me. So at that particular day, I thought it was over. I called my wife and said, baby, I did everything they told me not to do. and I'm still here 2 years later. I don't think I'm gonna get a heart transplant. You got George Floyd getting killed, you got Skurlock got killed, you got all the different racial things going on. Ain't nobody really concerned with a heart. I'm gonna come on down there and lay down where you at, and the guy had his wheel. And she said, no. She said, Malcom, let the doctor tell you that. You stay there until the doctor tell you that. I'm like, baby, the man won't even speak to me. He ain't gonna tell me nothing about staying or going. He ain't even acknowledge me. We're going back and forth on the phone. She wants me to stay. I'm telling her I'm gonna come. She telling me about drive by yourself. You can't drive all the way down here by yourself. Mine, I thought I could. It wasn't no problem with me. But at that particular week, going back and forth on the phone, my phone clicks. When my phone clicks, my wife goes, she got really upset because somebody called me at 10:30 at night. Hey, I'm out here in Omaha, Nebraska, sitting on the parking lot, waiting on a heart transplant, and you is upset. Now, what is you upset with? So I'm like, okay, so I said, let me click over and see what this other phone call, who this is calling me at 10:30 at night, I don't know. I click over, it's a lady on the other end, her name is Angie. She called me from UMC, she said, Malcom, they found your heart.
Wow.
That was something that I just, I mean, if I had a way to put it on the video, I did a call on my phone. I called, back then they had Instagram, they probably still got it on Instagram. And I got on Instagram and told everybody, I videotaped myself walking from the trailer to the back of the hospital. But this time, they got the whole building wrapped with COVID. So anybody ain't going in the hospital or none of that. So you got to go to the emergency room to get in. I had to walk from the front all the way to the back. And I checked in and I had the video. It's a nice little video I made. And I walked and they, over the Instagram time, they adjusted the how Instagram lets you talk 30, 40 minutes now. They went through a period where you couldn't talk that long. So now it's totally different now, but when that time they made a video and they did it. But I can play the video for you, but that's pretty much how I got a heart transplant and how I got. Did that make any sense? It is. I don't make sure I made sense, but that's what really happened in my life, and I'm thankful, very, very thankful. I got a heart transplant first. A year later, I had a 13-inch tumor to my left side. They took my adrenaline gland out with it. 9 cancers. I couldn't believe it. That was that one. Then I got another one after that. They called me up and gave me a doctorate degree. Gave me and my wife a doctorate degree. Based on the things that we did prior to coming to Omaha. These are things we did in St. Louis back when Mike Brown, y'all heard about Mike Brown? He had a big, about 4,000 or 5,000 people at the funeral, and we fed the whole funeral. And I did that on the strength of, just it was the right thing to do. When we lived in St. Louis, when Mike Brown's body was found in the middle of the street, I was very upset and crazy. I thought it was my son, because my son hanging in that same neighborhood over there. I was dealing with that process there, and then once I found out it wasn't my son, I didn't want to just walk away from the situation. I just said, okay, we can feed it. We can feed everybody, But I didn't realize it would be 4,000 or 5,000 people. But I did that, and that's it. I'm gonna let them get on with the show, but I just want to share that right there with you and let you know God's been truly good to me.